James sat at the corner booth of a small diner, staring at the crumpled $5 bill in his hand. It was all he had left for the week. His daughter, Lily, sat across from him, her big brown eyes shining with excitement as she studied the menu. She was only 6, and to her, a simple meal at a diner felt like an adventure. "Daddy, can I get pancakes?" she asked, bouncing in her seat. James forced a smile. "Of course, sweetheart." Inside, his heart sank. The math didn't add up. Even a kid's meal cost more than $5. He thought about pretending he wasn't hungry again, just like he had last night. Across the room, sitting alone at a table by the window, a young man in a tailored suit noticed them. He had sharp features, the kind of confidence that came with success, and a presence that drew attention without him even trying. His name was Ethan Cole, the youngest tech CEO in the city. At only 30, he'd built a company worth millions. But tonight, he wasn't looking at spreadsheets or contracts, he was watching a father trying to make one small bill stretch into dignity. The waitress came by. James cleared his throat. "One short stack of pancakes, please. With extra syrup." He paused. "And, that's all." The waitress hesitated, glancing at the hungry little girl, then at James. She nodded and walked away. Lily tilted her head. "Aren't you eating, Daddy?" James reached across and ruffled her hair. "I had a big lunch at work, kiddo." But Ethan could see the truth in his tired eyes. He saw the way James pressed his lips together, hiding his hunger. He recognized something deeper, pride. The kind that wouldn't allow a man to beg or admit struggle. Ethan called the waitress over quietly and handed her his credit card. "Bring them whatever they want. Don't tell him it's from me. Just say it's on the house tonight." The waitress smiled knowingly. When the food arrived, not only did Lily get her pancakes, but a plate of eggs, bacon, and toast was set in front of James. His brows furrowed. I didn't order this." "It's on the house," the waitress said gently. "Special promotion." James looked stunned. He glanced at Lily, who was already digging into her pancakes with glee. For the first time in weeks, he allowed himself a real meal. But Ethan wasn't finished. After they ate, James tried to slip the $5 bill under the plate, insisting on paying for something. The waitress shook her head. "Already taken care of." Confused but grateful, James tucked the money back into his pocket and held Lily's hand as they headed for the door. That's when Ethan stood up. "Excuse me," he said, approaching them. "I couldn't help but notice your daughter's smile. It reminded me of my little sister when we were kids." James smiled politely, unsure of what to say. Ethan crouched down to Lily's level. "Those pancakes look pretty good, huh?" "They were the best ever," she giggled. Ethan stood and extended his hand to James. "I'm Ethan. Listen, I don't usually do this, but I'd like to give you something." James tensed, his pride rising again. "That's kind, but we're fine." Ethan nodded. "I know you are. But sometimes, even the strongest people deserve a little help." He handed James a business card. On the back, scrawled in pen, was a note, "Come by my office tomorrow. We're hiring." James blinked. I don't understand." Ethan smiled. "I grew up watching my dad skip meals so I could eat. I see the same sacrifice in you. That's the kind of man I want on my team." For a moment, James couldn't speak. His throat tightened, his eyes stung. Lily squeezed his hand and whispered, "Daddy, maybe this is good luck." The next day, James walked into Ethan's office, still skeptical, still unsure if this was real. But Ethan kept his word. He offered him a job, not charity, but an opportunity. Months later, James was not only able to provide for Lily, but he was thriving in a new career. And every time he tucked her in at night, he thought back to that night in the diner, to the stranger who had seen him when he felt invisible. It wasn't just about the pancakes, or the job, or the money. It was about compassion. About the reminder that kindness, even from unexpected places, can change the course of someone's life. Because sometimes, all it takes is one person noticing, and choosing to care.